I quit my job with less than $1,000 and no plan. What happened next changed my life. I had no backup plan, and bills were coming in fast. I wasn't terrible with money. I just never really learned how to save it. So I made a bold choice: live as cheaply as possible and see how far I could go. No more takeout. No more shopping just to feel better. I cut everything down to the basics. That was the start of my frugal living journey, one choice at a time. What happened next changed my life. I saved more money than ever and found peace I didn't know I was missing. 1. Why I chose to live frugally. Escaping the middle-class trap. I wasn't poor. I had a full-time job, paid my bills on time, and lived in a decent apartment. But every month my money disappeared. I worked hard, yet I was always stressed about money. It felt like I was stuck in a loop: earn, spend, repeat. That cycle is called lifestyle inflation, where your income grows, but so do your expenses. I realized I was living what many call the middle-class trap. It looks fine from the outside: nice clothes, takeout on weekends, a Netflix account, maybe a new phone every year. But behind it all, I had no savings, no safety net, and no freedom. I was just working to keep up. I looked rich, but I wasn't living the stealth wealth life that real financial independence requires. Then I read something that hit me hard. If you lose your job today and your life falls apart tomorrow, you're not truly secure. That's when I decided something had to change. I didn't want to live a life where I only looked rich, but wasn't actually free. I didn't want to depend on credit cards or stress about rent. I wanted what the rich call stealth wealth: quiet money that buys peace, not pressure. So I chose a different path: frugal living. Not just to save money, but to take back control. But what I didn't see coming were the silent enemies hiding in my everyday spending. Number 2. The unseen enemies of your wallet. Before I started living frugally, I thought I was being smart with money. I didn't buy luxury items and I avoided big purchases. But still, my money kept disappearing. That's when I took a closer look and found the real problem. Small things I didn't notice were quietly stealing my money. For example, I was paying for 5 different subscriptions, a meditation app, and a photo editing tool. I used some of them only once or twice a month. That was over $70 gone every month. Then there were convenience costs. I ordered food when I was tired. I took Ubers instead of walking or using the bus. I bought things online just because they were on sale. These things didn't feel expensive at the time, but they added up fast. Another sneaky wallet enemy: emotional spending. I bought things when I was bored, sad, or stressed. A $25 candle here, a $40 hoodie there. All those feel-good purchases cost me peace later. I realized these weren't just spending habits. They were money leaks, tiny holes in my budget that slowly drained my bank account. Once I found these leaks, I started plugging them. I canceled and used subscriptions, started cooking at home, and thought twice before every purchase. I didn't just stop spending, I started thinking, and that made all the difference. And once I saw where my money was really going, I knew it was time to rebuild my life from scratch. Number 3. My frugal living framework. Once I saw how much money I was losing, I knew I had to start over, but smarter. So I created a system I called the Frugal Framework. Step 1. The 90-day reset. For 3 months, I stopped all non-essential spending. No takeout, no new clothes, no entertainment. Just rent, food, transport, and bills. I used cash envelopes to stay on track. This showed me what I truly needed versus what was just habit. Step 2. Build new habits. I cooked every meal, fixed things instead of replacing them, and used the bus or walked. I added no spend Wednesdays and only bought items if they had at least 3 uses. Step 3. Make frugal fun. I traded stuff with friends, joined a library that loaned more than just books, and explored free events and nature walks. Step 4. Stay flexible. I wasn't perfect, and that was okay. I gave myself 3 guilt-free treats each month and always got back on track. This simple plan helped me save thousands without feeling like I was missing out. It gave me control and peace. But what surprised me most wasn't the savings, it was everything else I gained. Number 4. Unexpected wins. How frugality made me rich in other ways. At first, I thought frugal living was just about saving money. But after a few months, I noticed something surprising. It was helping me in other ways too. This wasn't just saving, it was slow financial freedom through small decisions. One of the biggest changes was my mental health. I used to feel stressed all the time. I was always worried about money and felt guilty after buying things. But once I started spending less, that stress began to fade. I felt calmer and more in control. I also had more time. Since I wasn't shopping, eating out, or wasting hours scrolling online stores, I used that time to rest, read, go for walks, and spend time with friends. I even started learning new skills like cooking and fixing small things around the house. Another big win was confidence. I learned how to manage my money, say no to things I didn't need, and trust myself more. I didn't need to keep up with others anymore. Frugality didn't just grow my bank account. It made me richer in peace, time, and happiness. It showed me that real wealth isn't about what you have, it's about how free you feel. So, just how much did I actually save living this way? Let's talk real numbers. Number 5, what I spent versus what I saved. A lot of people ask me, how much did you actually save? So, here's the truth. Real numbers from 18 months of living frugally. Before I changed my habits, I was spending way more than I realized. Rent was my biggest cost. I was paying about $1,200 a month. When I switched to shared housing, that dropped to $500. That alone saved me $700 every month. Downsizing to save money wasn't glamorous, but it was the smartest financial move I'd ever made. For groceries, I used to spend around $550. After meal planning and cooking at home, I cut that down to $275. I also stopped driving everywhere and used my bike and public transport instead, which brought my transport costs from $300 down to $120. I canceled most of my subscriptions and went from spending $120 a month to just $10. And for entertainment, I reduced my spending from $250 to about $60 by finding fun, free activities. Altogether, I was saving around $1,455 every month. Over 18 months, that added up to more than $26,000. I didn't make more money, I just spent smarter. And no, I didn't feel bored or trapped. I still enjoyed life, but without wasting money. These small changes helped me take control of my future and finally feel like I was moving forward, not just surviving. This was real stealth wealth. No flashy moves, just smarter choices. And the best part? I wasn't alone. More people are waking up to this mindset shift. Number 6, the culture shift. Frugal is the new flex. A few years ago, people used to show off by spending a lot. Designer bags, luxury trips, fancy cars. That was the trend. But now, things are changing. Being frugal is starting to become cool. More people, especially young adults, are showing off how they save money instead of how they spend it. On TikTok and YouTube, you'll find people doing no-spend challenges, sharing budget meal ideas, or showing how they decorated their home using free or thrifted items. Some call it the soft life, living simple, calm, and debt-free. Even celebrities and influencers are starting to talk about living with less and choosing peace over pressure. Why? Because people are tired of always chasing more. The cost of living is high, and mental health is more important than showing off. Being smart with money now feels powerful. Frugal living isn't about being cheap, it's about being free. You're not tied to debt, stress, or fake status. Now, it feels good to say, I got this for free, or I saved $500 last month. That's the new flex. The world is changing, and so is the way we think about money. And honestly, it's about time. So what rules do I live by now to keep that freedom and still enjoy life? Frugal living isn't about saying no to everything. It's about saying yes to what really matters. I still enjoy life, I just do it in a smarter way. When I first started this journey, I just wanted to stop living paycheck to paycheck. I thought frugal living was only about money. But now, I know it's about something much deeper. Frugal living wasn't just about saving, it gave me lifestyle freedom. And that, to me, is the real stealth wealth. I don't stress about bills. I don't buy things to feel better. I spend with purpose. I feel calm, clear, and in control. It also taught me that real wealth isn't in your wallet, it's in your lifestyle. It's having time for people you love, peace in your mind, and the ability to say no without fear. I don't feel poor anymore, I feel powerful. Because I'm not chasing things. I'm building something. If you're tired of feeling stuck, try living with less. Just for a week. You might be surprised what you gain. Try writing your own financial freedom story. It doesn't start with more income. It starts with smarter choices. And remember, living small doesn't mean thinking small. It means thinking smart. Want to learn how real people are building quiet wealth and achieving financial success? Then watch this video next. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel to see more content like this. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.